also is incredible when you are ahead like this.
He's going to turn this Nightmare into an aggressive play instead. Collapse gets off the duel. It's not going to result in the kills. It looks like will be close. The winner is Ollie, the Bane Elemental, with massive damage now. 2 dead. IG gets the... evens it up in terms of the kills.
There's one more.
Mid lane.
It's pretty far away, but he's waiting.
We'll find out very shortly. Fiend's Breath in the mid lane, and that is going to be a freebie for IG, looks like.
Goes to fly, like he needs it so badly, too.
Everybody needs it.
This is very big. Miposhka, 3 players.
Mortimer's kisses. Kaka's going to take a tumble. So it's a 1-for-1, but obviously position 1 for support.
And Finger are online. If they find anyone,
where's the duel? This would be a huge kill for Team Spirit. They're going to find Emo. That is damage going the way of Collapse.
These are the best moves. Not only do they get the kill, but it actually negates all of IG's plans there.
Yeah.
If that happens 5 seconds later, IG are in position and they get the save, but instead, Emo dies, Spirit get the mid-tower.
JT. There's the duel that they've been looking for. Mortimer's kisses as well. The Nightmare trying to save Emo. It's going to be close. Gets off the slice, and away he goes. That'll save him and collect. For Team Spirit. Ollie, it's going to be spotted. There's the cookie initiation into the duel. Easy victory for Collapse.
Silver lining there is if Ollie isn't there, that death is probably JT. So, in that mid lane, very good. They're going to immediately look to roast. They only have level 1 little shredder. But they got a lot of other minus armor. I think it's a very good game for TB. The primary concern you have here is probably the Morphling E-Blade, which has been traditionally a counter pick actually to Terrorblade.
Yeah.
But they do choose to pick it into it largely because of what I think, because of what BSJ said.
We weren't finished. Sound strategy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
16 seconds cooldown at T1. They get another good move, really putting a lot of emphasis on this mid lane, and it's paying off. They're still not ahead on gold, but at the very least they're like stopping the bleeding in the lane that was suffering the most. And I think if you want to win this game, you need Lina to be strong, because I don't think Morphling is going to cut it alone against Terrorblade when you're playing against 2 BKB piercing disables. That has got to be a concern for 23 Savage. You need to play around Fiend's Grip as well as RP. You could take off one of them with press the attack theoretically. All right, don't get ahead of yourselves, cheers. It was just a little bit of harass on the main. It's fine. It's fine. I was like, oh, what's happening top? Oh, it's Little Shredder.
Good effort. That was a good effort, Sheer, no doubt. We have plenty of room for those for sure. So, as you can see, Ame's still at top of the net worths right now. Carl working on the Boots of Travel as 23 Savage now in the jungle.
Whitemon, Nightmare.
Might be shown here. The Nightmare Frostbite exchange. 23 Savage. Whitemon will fall first, and 23 Savage did turn into that Snapfire, but he's in a 1v3 situation. Gets skewered to the other side, still has waveform. Will be going into the cover of the arms of Carl, who gets off Laguna Blade, but no resulting kill here.
Very, very big one there on Y. Not sure how many charges he had, but
Is under attack.
We need a replay in SFM of that double cookie exchange.
How did one of them get stunned but not the other?
I don't know. Why? He's going to be spotted here, but we'll get the Nightmare off with a couple more right clicks. He doesn't really have anybody that near him, but it is just a support Weaver, of course.
Avoids the swarm. He has dust. And if Zephyr is feeling cute here and trying to take the bounty, or he could find himself dead, but well, Xinkyu.
Zephyr just being a very annoying presence is nothing to say. Almost has his tower dead to rights. And the question is, will they get the deny? Likely yes. And that's
denied.
Yeah, if I were a betting man, I would have lost a lot of money on that one.
I don't think Crystal Maiden gets many denies in a tournament in general, including creeps. But
so Faith Beyond is going to be playing, as you can see, the Magnus here. Magnus TB combo. What are your thoughts on that going forward?
Terrorblade has pretty high base damage in Metamorphosis, so he makes for a pretty good empower target. You might not think about it conceptually as a melee hero, which, you know, a lot of the time Turbulent is in melee form farming.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need empower as much as other carries do, since he has illusion farm. He just split pushes waves while farming jungle with his main, for example. But it still adds up. It gives you that little extra efficiency, and especially in Metamorphosis, the damage increase can make a very big difference.
You know, I was
So
theory crafting that
he
that
makes for a
plus the
pretty
shard
good empower target. You might not
really
think
good.
about it conceptually as a melee hero, which, you know, a lot of the time Turbulent is in melee form farming. Demon Zeal has been doesn't really need empower as much as other carries do, since he has illusion farm. He just split pushes waves while farming jungle with his main, for example. But it still adds up. It gives you that little extra efficiency, and especially in Metamorphosis, the damage increase can make a very big difference.
Mobility type heroes, burst damage. DK is obviously not quite that, but he's more the initiator and building destroyer, as it were.
Games in the tournament, but I don't think they've bought it.
Obviously, off to a very good start with his 2K net worth lead.
Yeah. PSG being super efficient, right? Like you're 3 kills behind, you got the triple kill mid for Lina, but fact of the matter is they still end up losing their mid tower around minute 10.
Yeah.
And both Terrorblade and Magnus are having more or less a free game, especially Ame is completely untouched with all of the emphasis they had to put on nothing to say in mid. Ame has 10 CS per minute right now.
Well, I think one of the reasons LGD is so good is because of their general flexibility. Like, nothing to say. I just talked about how different of a role that is, technically speaking. And, oh, we're going to see the stop
the
to the Fiend's grip. Cuckoo, very unlucky. And that's going to be a kill going the way of Ame again.
3v1.
Yeah. Very, that Centaur has some other agendas on the mind, no doubt.
Yeah.
But, oh, we might see some action in this top lane. Nothing to say. I mean, Dragon Knight's not really one of those heroes that's going to take up that much space farming, so that leaves Fate Beyond to get this really big. There's the stun into the RP. Do they have enough damage to take out the Morphling? Yes, indeed they do. And T1 absolutely getting crushed right now. 3K net worth lead. Nightmare. They have the vision, yep. The time lapse in place just for the HP, but double kill goes the way of Jin Q, and a tier 1 tower to fall as well. But
Talk about getting value out of it. You got 3 kills set up with that Invision, plus the Titan is that big one on the enemy side. So huge here from PSG.LGD.
And T1 do get the tier 1 mid, so they're getting crushed right now. Sort of a trade at least. Net worth lead. Nightmare.
What you doing, buddy?
They have the vision, yep. The time lapse in place just for the
Dragon Knight will be a little bit too late.
And a tier 1 tower to fall as well. But
set up with that Invision, plus the Titan is that big one on the enemy side. A huge here from PSG.LGD. And
to get the tier 1 mid, so they decided to trade it.
But you're still susceptible to RP as well as grip, so you can't. In some games, you could get this BKB on Lina and you feel like Superman, you know, for a while in these fights. It's just not going to be the case. You still need to keep your cool and maintain really strong positioning. So, good news for T1 though. Cuckoo is about to get the dagger.
Well, bad news is that PSG.LGD now have 2 daggers to work with.
Yep.
So expect them to ramp
As
it up
always,
even
you focus
more.
on the negatives. Thank you.
Well, that you could look at it as a positive for LGD. Why does that have to be a negative?
That's actually very true.
Technically true, and technically is the best type of true.
That is, I love it.
Whoever said that is a genius.
Yep. That's probably me then.
Yep. Ame working on, looks like he has a Falcon Blade Yasha, so Scotty looks to be next. Is there any reason to, I mean, is he skipping the Manta for now and just get it later? Actually, he probably has, maybe he is finishing Manta now. That's just the recipe to go.
I think he's just gonna skip it. I think he gets Yasha as the value item here for farming speed, and you can. I don't think
Not much to dispel, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's not much to dispel. There's Frostbite, but you're gonna play around that.
Oh, nothing to say. Spots the smoke, links in, gets the initiation. It's just Whitemon. So at the very least for T1, that's a silver lining.
Yeah, I need to get the hell out of there. Triangle gonna get dewarded now.
Yeah.
They are pinging that there should be a ward there. None of them have a sentry though. So, oh, they have one on nothing to say.
Yeah.
On the Dragon Knight, just checking both supports. But that was something they were talking about in the panel as well, right? That these players, LGD are pretty creative about how they distribute their wards. And that time around, I believe nothing to say gets it. Keep in mind, something that's been in the game since this entire change with getting gold for dewarding. It is the player placing the sentry that gets the gold here. And
that's true.
That obviously means if you're in a commanding position and you make a team move, you can funnel extra gold into your cores by letting them deward instead of having supports do it. So, depending on the circumstance, I think having sentries on, in theory, every hero in the backpack could actually be kind of cool, right? Because then whoever needs the gold the most can be given the gold at any given time. Might be something that LGD are taking more advantage of than other teams.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those changes that you... I mean, that was of note for that patch, but
extra gold into your cores by letting them deward instead of having supports do it.
Cinder, everybody knows what you're saying is correct, okay?
Yes.
Even if what you say isn't.
But like, imagine this. Imagine in the game, every player buys one sentry, right?
Yeah.
You buy a sentry and you bring it with you, and then whenever you make a move, you can choose who gets the gold. It's kind of... It's like very... It's a very, very detailed play, so to say, but when you're on LGD's level and you min-max basically everything, you could see why they would do something like that. I do think it was his own sentry, right? It does display that Nothing to Say got the gold at least, so I do think he bought it.
4K net worth lead now for LGD, and you have to think that's just going to increase thanks to this Empower placed constantly on Ame with that TB, allowing him to just take Ancients without having a meta. And Carl, at the very least, will get this tier 2 bot. So it does have a BKB.
That's a tier 1
travel right now.
the tower.
That is the first tower?
Yeah.
What did I just say?
Tier 2. But you probably said tier 2 because it was the second tower of the game.
Second tier 1 tower, Cinder. Let's get a cheer for Cinderin for correcting me. Really appreciate that. Woo! Let's get cheers in the chat. Appreciate that.
Looking behind me, the crowd loves it.
Yeah, Ricky is very proud of you. All right, Scotty online. Is this the go time? Because ever since they picked up these Blink there, they haven't really done that much. They had that one smoke gank that just resulted in one CM kill.
There it is.
Now they have Scotty. Thank you.
There's
Thank
the
you,
cheer.
chat. Really
Thank you.
appreciate
Very good.
Man, that's actually a lot of fun, not gonna lie. Now we have, okay, just like I said, so Scotty is go time. PSG.LGD, they might just go for Roche potentially. Probably would prefer to get a pick off beforehand.
Yeah, and they might just find Zephyr here.
Zephyr?
No ward though.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
counter
smoke breaks.
smoke now.
Yeah.
Why not? Area, but doesn't look like there'll be a resulting kill, at least not yet. Cuckoo, in the meantime, has his armlet. We've been seeing that pretty much every game on Legion Commanders, along with the Blink Dagger that you mentioned. So they have some counter initiation possibility. But with the looming RP potential, that is the scariest thing for T1. For sure.
I do think that was a really nice play there from Zephyr, though. He was hiding behind the tree line and had the ward in front. So as soon as that smoke breaks, he can immediately just Shikuchi away. And they have a very hard time finding the opening on him. So basically just a safe breaker there. And with superior vision right now in this area, Kuko's kind of potentially thinking about this. They will see the wall.
RP was canceled at the very least, but it's going to cost Faith beyond his life. I don't know if that was just perfect timing or if that was actual reaction. Overwhelming odds comes out. Carl continuing to chase. Don't think they want to go high ground. A little bit too sketchy. Only a 25-second death timer, so not enough time to really go for Roche, but the smoke from T1 trying to wrap around. But you can see the position for PSG.LGD. There is the initiation. That's going to be the first duel victory for Cuckoo. And when it's this early in the game, it's really difficult to go get Roche because the timers are so low and they didn't really expend anything. RP is still online. Like, if he had used his RP, then maybe.
Yeah. Important there for Faith Beyond to cancel it, right? It was a very quick reaction from both players, really. He blinked up and RP'd and canceled it immediately as soon as the Legion commander blinked out. Like, this is some really fast reaction. So you see the courier here finding that observer ward, so they know that's the case. Really, really close to blowing the RP there, but Cuckoo obviously with that ward pre-placed had his finger on the blink button and got out. And all right, only 1K lead now for PSG.LGD. That was the biggest gold swing that T1 have had go their way in the entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're going to see Whitemon get picked off. RP.
Nice press.
Okay. Well, that didn't result in much. And here's the duel onto the Dragon Knight by Whitemon, but it looks like the damage is going to go the way of the Dragon instead. It will be a trade of lives, though, as that is a dieback onto Whitemon. And we'll see if this is enough PSG.LGD to try to go into the Roche pit. It's 2 dead.
So you know when you buy back and die again, the timer gets added on top?
Yeah.
I wonder how many extra death seconds he got out of this, because He was alive for like a good 1 second after teleporting in.
Yeah,
so that was
that's a long time.
a net loss. Trying to overtake Puppy's record of time spent dead at TI here. White Mom.
Wow. Well, his is more out of quantity than anything.
That's true. He's got a lot of ways to go.
I mean, I'm sure you can compete with that despite only playing a couple TIs, right?
That's a good joke, Sunspin
Thank
TV.
you. Okay, appreciate that,
Yeah.
Cinder. Let's get a cheer for that joke in chat, please. Really. Carl. TP's back to base. Not sure why I mentioned that, but he has the Shadow Blade. Arcane Rune is bottled, so that's kind of a big deal. But like you said, despite that fight, still only a 1K network lead for LGD right now.
Wait, hang on. I just realized, who was it that had the most time dead? Puppy was third on that thingy. On the thingy, words fail me today.
Eloquent as always.
Yeah.
65%. Is this
Who was first?
Is this surprising to you?
Shannon, tell me. Who
What?
has the most time spent dead? It was not Puppy.
I don't
was it,
know.
Was it Cool?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Puppy was third. Yeah,
This is the TI
you never
main
paid
stage,
attention.
Synderen.
Yeah, it was a nice graphic.
God's sake.
Graphic was the word. It came to me in
Art.
a dire moment of need here. What I think about the win expectancy being 2-1.
Oh, you're gonna have to hold that thought. We got a duel coming in.
All right.
And Cuckoo gets some more damage. Oh. Okay, that's a random centaur from the Helm of the Dominator from Mr.
They're
Magnus.
gonna go for this. They know there's no RP.
Yeah.
And
Another 10 seconds though, so it's coming in a bit close.
Oh,
We got the horse. Switemon dead again. He's just racking up these deaths, but Cuckoo and company, E-Blade's not gonna be enough to take out Faith Beyond. He's gonna have RP now. Zephyr taking quite a bit of damage, but will back up to safety, and I think T1, you can see the Mortimer's Kisses. This is definitely going to force them back. And the Dragon Knight initiates onto Cuckoo, has to press the attack himself. Looks like he will be able to walk away safely, though.
This is looking like a potential PSG.LGD Roche. 5 seconds on Metamorphosis.
And they're smoking.
They have RP, and they do have a really good ward here.
Carl gets Dragon Tail, but there's the press the attack save. 23 Savage able to blow up wide. Does have buyback though. There's the skewer back into the Laguna Blade. But it's going to be a trade either way. Magnus not able to get off his RP. Pretty big deal, but a big cookie from Jin Q. The follow-up from Nothing to Say. They will have enough damage to tear through him. 65 seconds of no Lina.
That shard on Snap is so good. We already had a highlight clip earlier today, pre-match, when you saw Jin Q, I believe in one of the qualifiers, hitting a nutty one of those, and that one, another high impact play, stun into stun into stun into death.
Yeah.
They probably had it all on the Dragon.
Now the save is not enough though. That's the attack. Usually a fail-safe. Not this time around. Just too much damage to work with on LGD's side. And that should finally mean Roche is conceded.
Gonna go the way of Ame here. Working his way now toward a BKB. Just wants that safety against primarily the E-Blade, you would imagine, but also against the Lina Light Striker Raid. It's a real feels good item. Also helps a little bit against Crystal Maiden, who, you know, CM has this reputation of just falling off, right?
I thought you were going to say dying a lot.
Yeah, well,
She has a lot of reputation.
that's a part of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, over the last many years, like if you haven't watched too much Dota, Crystal Maiden has reached a point where she can actually scale pretty well and have really high impacts in the later, mid to later portions of the game, primarily because there's just more gold in the game. And Crystal Maiden benefits so much from getting items like Dagger and BKB, which sounds like a lot, but it happens more frequently than you'd think. In this game, though, Whitemon is at the bottom of the food chain.
Yes. This is looking like a patch from like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, he is very, very poor, and it just means you're food. Like, he dies to literally 3 attacks from Terrorblade. If he gets caught by anything, he's just gone. There's a lot of pressure on him to stay very, very far back, get in a good position, and more than likely just accepting that freezing fuel is going to be exceptionally difficult to use here.
Oh, you do have press the attack shard, Synderen.
That's true.
To give you a brief moment of magic immunity.
1.75 seconds of ulti there.
Very good.
He could actually still
like you said,
to terribly.
Either way, they have 2 BKB piercing stuns.
If you get one of those on the Maiden, you're probably happy though.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have Dragon Knight from Nothing to Say. Dragon Tail, Faith Beyond, skewers back into the fray. An easy pickoff for LGD again. Still holding that Aegis for another 3 minutes. We'll see what they can do with this Dragon form. They'll likely go for the tier 2 top.
Yeah. queuing up his own BKB as well. Seems like LGD are trying to hit a timing here with double BKB on Terrorblade as well as the Dragon Knight. Obviously Terrorblade gets it a little bit earlier.
Yep.
But that is going to be a really big problem from T1. From a damage perspective, if your Lina is pressured in the fight so she has to run away, I don't think you can kill anyone in BKB. This Morphling build is not good against BKB. You have Linken's as well as E-Blade. There's none of that like strong right click, such as like a Butterfly or a Daedalus. Nothing of that kind. LGD are just going to go for it. Go high ground. 25 minutes, you have Aegis, you have all your cooldowns.
Yeah, why not?
Dragon
Target
Form is running
still
out.
online. There's the Metamorphosis, and the tower is going to fall very, very quickly.
Your base is burning. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
No fortification available either.
They're actually just giving this lane up because Cuckoo's dead. They can't defend.
Yeah. Can't blame them. Still 2 minutes on that Aegis. So like you said, it will be a completely free set of racks for LGD, who now sport an 8K net worth lead. Carl.
Just so clean, right? They see that they have enough time for this. They grab exactly what they can, get out, and lose nothing.
Yeah.
That was even with Dragon Form expiring about 2 seconds into the push, but they're just so confident.
Oh, he gets the Nightmare off. That's the Aether Lens. Look at that ridiculous range. Of course, has Fiend's Grip if they really need it, but it doesn't look like it'll come to be. Oh, press the attack. They're actually going to expend RP. This is a really important kill.
Oh, they also grip.
Finally taken out. Does take quite a bit, but nice catch there by Y.
Yeah, that was a little bit of miscommunication on LGD's part. They end up using both RP as well as grip through that skewer. But I don't know if T1 realized, so perhaps they're still going to be scared of the grip. I think Y canceled it very, very quickly. Yeah, that's a big pick on Carl and LGD, just straight down mid.
Yeah, still a minute to burn.
They want to force the buyback, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't blame them.
Right, to get it.
Yeah, DK looks fine for now, but there's the duel. Can they save him? Carl pops the BKB, trying to create as much space on the sideline as possible. Laguna Blade blows up the Bane in the meantime. Eventually, Cuckoo does fall. It's a 2-for-2 with the buyback now onto Carl.
LGD is straight down mid.
PSG.LGD. Still a minute to burn. Gets the time lapse off the full HP again.
Right, to get it.
Still working on the active second form stuff, which is another turning point potential. Can they save T1? The BKB trying to create as much space on the sideline as possible. Laguna Blade blows up the Bane in the meantime. Eventually, does fall. It's a 2-for-2 with the buyback now on Carl.
That situation is straight down mid.
I think they win the still a minute to burn. Gets the time lapse off the full HP again.
At least build up a little bit of
Active second form stuff, which is another turning point potential. Can they save T1? The BKB trying to create as much space on the sideline as possible. Laguna Blade blows up the Bane in the meantime.
PSG.LGD have that ward-centric combination. They were ready.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And look at
themselves
the
another
discrepancy
easy
between 1 and 2 here. Between 23 Savage and Ame.
Yep.
That is pretty gigantic. And it's just growing from here. So Ame, what's he working on now? Obviously finished the Manta a while ago into the BKB and has his sight set towards Chrysalis. And then for 23 Savage on the other side, you talked about the Lincolns. I mean, would you change this build in any way? It feels like Lincoln's is almost necessary, but at the same time, I mean, Lincoln's doesn't feel that bad on Morphling just because of the stats nature to it, but
yeah, it's
you're still lacking some damage, right?
Yeah, you are. Maybe he wants to bypass BKB entirely.
Through Savage on the other side.
Trust Cuckoo to press the attack, the biggest key spell, but it still needs the Lincolns against the Bane, and I think his item build is fine. It's just
you talked about the Lincolns.
And the problem is LGD have been ahead the whole game, just pushing in your waves better.
Yeah.
So Terrorblade will be that one major item ahead. And as far as Ame goes, he doesn't have a defensive item similar to Lincoln's. He has the BKB, which is super high impact for the type of team fights that LGD's lineup plays. It's very high burst. You get an RP, you get a grip, you get a Dragon Tail, and you just commit and go. The only thing you've had to worry about the whole game until now was that dragon, was the press the attack, but now there's a second quote unquote press the attack from Zephyr. And this is a smoke timing for T1. They're gonna go for it.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the ag like you said. So we'll see if PSG.LGD play around that or not. But it could have huge impact, as apparently only one buyback in the game right now, for nothing to say.
Yeah, he also has a gem, and he's holding a very strong high ground position. Jinkyu.
Oh, yeah, he's
in Glimmer Cape into Bling.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they thought that somebody was high ground, but they didn't know he was invisible as well. As Ame is going to show bot lane, and it looks like this tier 2 will fall as a result.
Just masterfully done from LGD, right? They avoid the smoke play, they get the stronger position, and they get a tower. So effectively, T1 smoke to lose there. Usually, the worst case scenario when you smoke, if you don't find a fight, is that the enemy team hides, but you gain some ground. You didn't even gain ground, you actually lost it.
Into the jungle, LGD goes. It's not an insurmountable lead for T1 to try to come back from.
Cool.
Oh, that was felt like a longer TP. Not sure where he ended up, but oh, it was just in the fountain. Maybe not. Cutting it close there, still working on his BKB. His second Roach is available. Who gets the shards?
I was gonna. You said it first.
I mean, Faith Beyond already has his, right? So
you do a really good Suns fan impersonation. Did you know that?
Oh boy, that's an insult. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe you get the Demon Zeal. I'm not sure actually. This game, this is you could go for the Dragon Well's okay.
I actually think they're gonna give him the Zeal.
Yep, there it is. Yep. You will consume it. So Demon Zeal, basically costing 20% of TB's HP, and you get movement speed, attack speed. While in melee form, you get even more.
It's a double up.
Yeah. Pretty strong, and especially when combined, like we talked about, with the Empower. I mean, not that he's having trouble farming right now, Syndrome, but this will add it to another level. Is Faith Beyond? Gets a skewer up into the Dragon Tail, and White Mon again. The crowd goes wild, yeah. They really like watching Crystal Maiden die.
I was like, damn, he only took 2 hits like expected. He even has a plate mail. Like, imagine if he did on the Maiden. Yeah. It's tough times to be a Crystal Maiden in this game. You get caught by literally anything, you're just gone. So, easy
She's
pick
quite
there.
slow, sadly. So, Ame, I guess next item for him is actually just going to be the completed Daedalus, which I would assume takes the place of his boots if his Aegis is still in his inventory.
And worth keeping in mind when you have Satanic like this, Demon Zeal just feels good to use. You restore your health so fast anyway, so using it in fights, sometimes that can be a double-edged sword. Yeah, you get more damage, but you also take 20% health. Usually when you have Satanic, it doesn't really matter that much. All you need is to get in one attack when you're starting to struggle, and you're all of the health left, and health back right in, and here we go.
And here we have meta popped again.
Oh, Carl isn't in position.
Oh, the skewer back with the horn toss set up into the RP, but no! Press the attack waveform is enough to bait out the RP. And T1, see if they want to try to take advantage of this. I mean, they're going to have to if this continues to go in LGD's favor with this push. E-Blade onto Ame. You can see the jump in from nothing to say with an overwhelming blink being shown as Carl has to pop in BKB, and there is the duel. Do they have enough damage for the Sunder from Ame, allowing the duel victory to go the way of nothing to say. He's just going to walk that one off, but 23 Savage can't walk that one hard. That is just too much damage to withstand. And Carl jumped in. This is going to be the beginning of the end, I do believe, although 2 buybacks come up for T1. And the Metamorphosis is running out, but again, he has Demon Zeal to work with. Bane's going to take a tumble. Whitemon drops to the neck as well, 1 for 1. Laguna playing Ame, getting extremely low. That's just the Aegis, though. Carl completely out of mana. Nothing to say, is still alive to run all this some way, somehow. And just going to play all the pressure to the racks here. This will be a dieback onto Carl. And it looks like that's going to be enough to GG out of game 1. And like we talked about, Syndra, T1 have looked really good after that first day of the group stage, but LGD are just on another level of everyone so far. Just game 1, though.
Do you know what LGD stands for, Sunsfan?
What's that?
Looking good, dominating.
God, that is awful.
Thank you.
You know how to kill a cat.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You know how to just ruin the moment.
I take a moment and I destroy it. Just like LGD did. T1 seemed like they had a couple of moments and they just got taken away right in front of them. It's not... There really isn't... You know what's...